The smell of betrayal is not something you can describe, but you know it the moment it hits you. It was a Tuesday, an ordinary Tuesday, until it wasn't. I was baking banana bread, something James always loved. Our kitchen smelled like cinnamon and love. Or so I thought. That was the day I found out my husband of 8 years was cheating on me. With my best friend, Caroline. The same Caroline who had cried on my shoulder during her last breakup. The same woman who stood beside me as my maid of honor, who knew every secret of my heart, every pain, every joy. I didn't scream. I didn't throw the hot loaf at James when he walked in with guilt written all over his face. I simply sat down, peeled off my oven mitts, and asked, "How long?" His face crumbled. "It wasn't supposed to happen," he said. "But it has. I'm in love with her." Love. That word sliced me. I didn't cry until the next morning, curled up in the corner of our bedroom, surrounded by the pieces of our wedding photo I had accidentally knocked off the dresser. But heartbreak has a strange way of waking something fierce in you. By Thursday, I was packing his things. By Friday, he was gone. And by Sunday, Caroline had the audacity to text me, "I hope you can forgive us. It just happened. It just happened." What they didn't know, what no one knew, was that I had a secret. A big one. A $3.7 million kind of secret. Let me take you back 10 years. I was 25, broke, and working night shifts at a hospital to pay off my nursing school loans. One night, an elderly woman named Miss Ada was wheeled in. She was quiet, frail, and had no family visiting. I sat with her through the night, held her hand when she got scared, and hummed lullabies when her pain got too much. I did it out of compassion, not expecting anything in return. 3 weeks later, she passed away. Peacefully. A month after that, I received a letter from her attorney. Miss Ada had left me something. That something turned out to be a trust fund, $3.7 million. She had no family and said I reminded her of her daughter, who had passed away young. I was shocked. For months, I kept the money untouched. I still lived in my little apartment, still went to work, and only told my sister. I didn't want money to change me, or attract the wrong kind of people. And when James came into my life a year later, I told him nothing. Because I wanted to be loved for me. And for a long time, I believed I was. After James left, I sat with that old envelope again, rereading Miss Ada's letter. She had written, "Use this to live with purpose. Kindness brought you here. Let kindness guide you." So I started giving. Quietly. I paid off a struggling single mother's medical bills. I bought laptops for an underfunded inner-city classroom. I started a scholarship fund at the community college. But then, something bigger called to me. I remembered Miss Ada's loneliness. The empty room. The silence. And I thought, what if no elderly person had to feel forgotten? I bought a rundown property on the edge of town and turned it into Ada's house, a home for elderly people who had no one else. It wasn't just a nursing facility, it was a place of dignity. We had art classes, music nights, even a small library. We hired people with compassion, not just credentials. The first resident was Mr. Jenkins, a war veteran who hadn't had a visitor in 5 years. On his birthday, we threw him a surprise party. He wept like a child. Word spread. Donations poured in. Volunteers came. Local businesses offered help. One elderly woman donated her entire art collection. Another taught weekly poetry classes. In 1 year, we expanded to 2 more homes. And my life, once torn by betrayal, was stitched together with purpose. Then, one evening, at the opening ceremony for our 3rd location, I saw him. James. He looked older. Not physically, but spiritually. As if life had drained him. Caroline wasn't by his side. He waited until most people had left before approaching me. "Hey," he said. "Hi. This place is incredible. I saw it on the news. I didn't know. Didn't know I was capable of more than banana bread," I said with a faint smile. He gave a bitter laugh. "I deserved that." There was a long silence. Then he said, "Caroline left 2 months after I moved in. Said she didn't want to play house. I lost my job not long after. Been doing temp work." I nodded, not out of spite, but out of understanding. Life had turned its wheel. He looked at the photos lining the walls, smiling elderly faces, children painting murals. "How did you?" And that's when I told him. About Miss Ada. About the secret. About what kindness had given me. He blinked, stunned. "You had $3.7 million and you never told me?" "No," I said. "Because I wanted love. Not loyalty to a bank account." He looked down, ashamed. "I wasn't the man you needed me to be," he whispered. "No," I said gently. "But I needed to become the woman I was meant to be. And maybe I wouldn't have, if you hadn't left." That night, I didn't cry. I didn't feel triumphant either. I felt at peace. Because life had brought me full circle. What began with heartbreak ended in healing. What started with betrayal turned into a legacy of compassion. James walked away that night, a quieter man. And I stayed behind, watching a group of kids singing for the residents, their voices lifting the air. My heart, once shattered, now beat with purpose. And Miss Ada's words echoed in my soul. "Let kindness guide you." It did. And it always will.